Welcome everyone to another Voices with Vervaeke. We want to develop in a more shareable format. So hence what we're doing right now. So welcome, Jordan. It's always great to be here with you.
Yeah, it's always great.
I like this particular translation. Jesus recommending that we be passers-by, that we be in the world, but not of the world. As lurking behind it, the Nietzschean criticism of Christianity being a kind of platonic hatred of the body and the world, bringing in that critique Christianity close to some forms of Gnosticism. There's a provocation there. It's like, why this recommendation, and what does it mean, and how do we attempt to fulfill it without falling into that Platonism that longs for disembodied perfection or completion?
Right. In the language of this book that I mentioned in our other conversation, Sojourners.
Yes.
Strangers in a strange land. Right? That whole sensibility. What does it even mean to be in that way in the world?
Yes. The Stranger in a Strange Land, of course, is evoking the mythology of the Exodus and of Moses. But Zachary Stein describes us as in a time between two worlds, which is an Exodus. He's invoking the Exodus mythology. We're moving. That to me is a very interesting thing. Right? So there's the sense of Exodus, which carries with it a sense of moving towards. There's a liberation, a freeing from and a freeing to. That's different from this, although it feels similar. When you've traveled to Borneo and you just feel out of place and you're just experiencing culture shock. And I think Jesus, in what I quoted, speaking on behalf of Jesus, is always a worrying thing.
Whoa. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So I should say, hey guys, be in the kingdom of heaven, which is a place. Now, I don't mean like Borneo, but it's a place where one can be. It is a location the being can occupy. And it has a relationship with other kinds of place.
Is very much the aspirational move between being how we exist and how we could exist in a way that more fully discloses the nature of our being, where that doesn't mean something just inside me, but also something between me and other people. So the kingdom of God is within you, but it also can be translated as the kingdom of God is between you. And then, of course, in the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus famously says, the kingdom of God is spread upon the world, but men see it not. So it's not really another place, it's another way of being in this place.
But there was a few that popped up that I thought were fun to throw into the...
Yeah, let's enrich the phenomenology.
Into the crucible, not the fire. One was it's like beautifully banal and even profane metaphor of just the simple notion of a radio.
Yeah, okay.
Kingdom of 99.5 is at hand, but nobody's coming into it. Right? There's a way of thinking about a way of being in relationship with something that is somehow called like invisible or not yet currently part of your experience, but part of the potential of your experience. That's the point, right? It is what may not yet exist.
Yes.
It's simple as that, right? The transition between isness and existence is this middle zone of something like relationality, proper relationality, harmonic relationality, attunement, something like that. The other phrase that came up, which may properly belong to Nietzsche, but I don't know, is to become an artist of life. To make a very clean distinction between the art and the artifact. Right? The artifact lives already at the level that it exists. Right? The painting exists. If we look at the art in the way that a bear looks at the painting, right? That ain't art. It's actually the continuity, the connection, the something of the manifestation of the logos, but it's the connectedness. The whole point is the connectedness that gives rise to the presencing of this existence as art in the first place.
Bringing the existential into attunement with the essential so that the essential is more and more disclosed, and you linking that to the attunement that discloses the art within the artifact.